Piggy Sue. Hi Gayla, how are you? Hi Gina. Hi Pat. Hi Abs. How is everybody? Not a bad day. I'm feeling a bit flat today. Sorry. Hi Serena. Hello Carol. I think I need my eyes testing, you know. Hi Susan. Are you back again for your fix, Pat? Oh, I'm glad you're fine, Gayla. Lovely to have you here. Hi, Sue. Oh, Sue Barnes, hi. Oh, it said Sue Barnes is watching, then it said Sue. Sorry, I said your name twice. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Sue. 2 Sues. 3 Sues. I'm not too bad. Are you? Are the animals okay? Hi, Anne. Yeah, I don't know what it is about today. I feel tired today. Really tired. I'm sure my fridge just asked, what the do I want now? Oh, Carol, that's so funny. And you're feeling tipsy, Serena. Hi, Kim. Hi, Gina. Hi, Rizwana. Hi, Debbie. I can't wait to see what I'm doing tonight as well, Debbie. I haven't got a clue. Oh, dear. I know, I'm sick of reading the news, Sue. I really am. Hi, Sue. Hi, Jenny. I can't read everybody's names properly. Hi, Roz. My tongue's tongue-tied. Another, hey, we've got lots of Sues tonight. Hi, Serena. I've had some wine. Oh, no. Now on stronger stuff. Maybe that's my problem. I'm not drinking. I haven't had a drink for 23 years. So if I had a drink now, I'd be lethal. Hi, Louise. Hi, Olga. How are you? Hi, Sue. Hello, Louise. Yes, Olga will be live at the weekend. Hey, maybe I could take a break. Hi, Louise. You will do, though. You've not had a break yet. No, I think I'm going to have a break on Friday. Friday's called my DOS day. I'm going to have a movie day on Friday. What have you got planned for the weekend, everybody? I know, staying in. Hi, Ali. It's great because we all know what we're doing. We're either staying in or walking out to the garden or getting food shopping. It's riveting. My cat just asks if I want the radio left on while he goes out. Carol. Oh, Carol, you're as nutty as me. Oh. Hi, Sunanda. Welcome. A big cup of tea. Yes, a big cup of tea, some chocolate, and I'm going to have a movie day on Friday. Oh my, if you could see my desk. I know, my desk's terrible. I stopped watching the news at the weekend and feel much better. Maybe that's what I need to do, Miriam, because the news is really getting to me now. So maybe I need to do that. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Leslie. Oh, Carol's had me in stitches. Have you read Carol's comments further up? You need to scroll back and read Carol's comments. Oh, it's a popular name, Sue, isn't it? There's quite a few Sues here. Hi, Isabel. Hi, Louise. You do these at the perfect time when the news is on. Maybe that's why I do them, Louise, when the news is on, because I just think, I can't listen to it again. By the time I've finished with the news, I just want to burst into tears. So I'm not watching it tonight. I'm just going to waffle. I've got no idea what I'm doing. There just wasn't the time to prep. Bonjour, Dominique. Ça va? Hi, Fee. Me working Friday but off at the weekend. Yay, Belinda. I'm having Friday off and I'm literally going to watch movies from morning till night. That just made me laugh, Carol. I'm sorry, but that made me laugh. You need to read Carol Morgan's comments further up. Oh, good evening, Joanna. Oh, that did make me laugh. Staycation, a whole new meaning. I know, we all get to sit in. It's my floor that's the mess, never mind the desk. Pat, I've just given up caring. Honestly, I don't know how this live's going to go. Hi, Tony. Yay, how are you? So I don't know how this live's going to go because I've got stuff everywhere. I've got no idea what I'm using. All that I know is I've made a little book, that's it. I've got no other plan. Hi, Diane. So this could be a total disaster, but do we care? No. Am I at the right angle? Yes, I am. Yeah, it's all right. I'm looking at my camera and it's looking, that's it. Are you doing anything? The screen is stationary. Sorry, I've not done a thing. Oh, Louise. Oh, there you go. I'm moving, look. Louise, that's because all I've done is talk. I've done nothing. Oh, you're taking part in a cyber crop this weekend. Oh, that sounds fab, Kelly. That sounds really good. Hi, Mario. So yes, maybe I should move my hands so that you know I'm actually doing something. Hi, Karen. So yes, sorry. It wasn't that the screen was froze. It's just that I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing a thing. So I've got a little giveaway for the Facebook Live for anybody that participates. If you'd like to share, that's great. This is the giveaway tonight. It's an A4 stamp set by Bipasha. I can't be bothered to take it out of the plastic, so there you go. You can see what it is. So, fabulous stamp set. This is the giveaway. Hello, Karen. Yoo-hoo. Sorry I haven't got back to you yet, Karen. It's just been manic here. No dancing, Tracy. I've got no idea what's going to happen. So this is the giveaway. It's an A4 stamp set, a new one, stamp set 108. So if you'd like to share the Facebook Live, that's entirely up to you. It's just a free-for-all tonight. Please do a bit of blending. Well, that'll make interesting watching, won't it, Serena? Just me blending colour on a piece of card. But I can do that for you. Remind me towards the end of the video if I haven't done any blending. Hi, James. Have to go and have my dinner. Won't be able to join in. No problem. You enjoy your dinner. So that's the stamp giveaway. And let me get a piece of paper. We're going to decorate some of this little book. The little book that we created from our alcoholic mop-ups. So we're going to decorate this book. Hi, Julie. So we're going to decorate this. Now, I thought I'd just get some scrap paper. Where's my little one? Because, look, I've had lots of questions about these books. But, look, you can create them any size that you want. You can create them this size. Sorry, that way up. This size. Or even, look, little diddy ones. How about making a little cute one? Look at the tiny one. You can make little tiny ones. But for those of you that weren't watching, because I've had loads of requests on where is the video, so let's repeat ourselves. So your piece of paper can be any shape or size. Thanks for sharing, Sue. He's super fast, isn't he, Anne? It arrived today. So I've got a scrap of, this is just A4 piece of paper. Now you can make your paper any size you want, because look, what about making some of these little diddy ones? I think you've prepped your book, Marianne. You're so organised. So is this your book for the workshop in my group? I tried to send, but not sure if I did it right. Oh, who cares, Belinda? It doesn't matter. So look, you can make little ones. So how about making some little ones? Hi, Kay. So this is how you make the book. Just for those that asked me quite a few times, how do you make the book? So this is A4 piece of paper. This one that I made was something like 8 inches in width by 10 inches in length. But this is A4 and the principle's exactly the same. So here you go. Are you ready? Dinky book, isn't it cute? It's so dinky. Look. You've got to make some little ones as well. I think we should make some little ones and have a challenge with these little ones. What size was this? This was 5 inches in width by 7 inches in length. So that was what made that little size. It's so cute. I think I'm going to make one of them. I think we might have a challenge with that. I think we should have a challenge and share all our little books in my group. Oh, I need to put a link to my group. That helps, doesn't it? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I think that's my group. I could have shared anything, really. How do you share? Oh, Louise. At the bottom of the screen is a share button. You press share and then you type, Tracy Evans is waffling right now, and then press return and it shares, doesn't it? I prepped several books and at 4 a.m. remembered thinner cardstock, so made more. 4 a.m. Wow, Belinda. So this is just made out of paper and it is so cute. I love that one. So this is all you need to do. Let me see if I can remember. So fold it in half lengthways. If I'm going too fast, just say slow down. I know, book. I'm terrible, Debbie. Hi, Chantal. Just ordered the new tiny book die. Yes, I've ordered that as well. That is very cute though, isn't it? Look at that. So you fold it in half that way, okay? So fold it in half lengthways. I'm just doing this for those ladies that said I missed the video. Hi, Jeanette. Bonjour. Ça va? Hi, Julie. Just come up. Hi, Alison. So you fold it in half, okay? There's no room on this desk. And then you turn it over and fold it in half again. If I'm going too fast, just say, shut up, Tracy, you're going too fast. So just fold it in half again. Hi, Lillian. Hello, Sue. Yay, welcome. Oh, these could be small ATC books for a swap. Exactly, Rizwana. So look at that one. We need to have a challenge. I think we'll have a challenge in my group for these books, 5 by 7 inches, and you fold them the way I'm doing now. Definitely. So anybody that shares a little book in my group, we'll have a prize draw. So this is a piece of card, 5 inches by 7 inches, folded the way I'm doing now. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Hi, Patsy. So all we've done is fold this A4 piece of paper in half lengthways. Cuckoo, Michelle, and in half again. Does that make sense? Okay, so half one way and half the other. Okay? And then turn it this way and fold it in half. So you've got 2 halves now, okay? So fold it in half this way, back on itself, like so. And then turn it over and fold it in back in half on itself again. Which I can't do because my hands are shaking. Don't ask me why I'm shaking, I've got no clue. Okay, does that make sense? Like so. And then you open it out and then you cut up to the first score line, like so, okay? And then open the book up like so, and you get it like that. Look, it looks like a frog's mouth. And there's your book. Fold it, and there's your book. How easy is that? I need chocolate, that's it. You made it, Laurie. Yay! Hi, Laurie. Thanks for sharing, Sonia. So there's your book, look. Like so. How easy is that? You need more chocolate so hands don't shake. I know, my hands were shaking. So that, but look, we need to have a look at that little book. How cute is that? Look. How adorable is that? I love it. We're going to have a challenge with that little book. More homework. Diddy book. I need tea, Ali. Tea. How are you, Ali? Hi, Jane. So there you go. You've got your book, and that's how we created it. But what I did for mine is we did a video where we dipped card into alcohol inks. And this is the card that I dipped. And it was 10 inches by, sorry, it was 8 inches in width by 10 inches in length. And I did that fold. And I've machine stitched mine so that I've got books and I've got no openings. What that means is I've got slots that I can slot card in, look, like so. So we can slot the card in into these ones, Tracy. So you can slot the card, so we can slot cards in as well. Good evening, Fiona. How are you? Hi, Linda. My red alcohol inks rub off on my hands even when dry. Oh no, mine are not. No? Not on, hang on, let me get another piece of card. This is the alcohol ink dipped card. No, mine's not rubbing off, Belinda. No? No, mine seems fine. How weird. So anyway, this is mine that I've done, that hopefully you've prepped. So if you cut 2 pieces of card, slightly smaller, and they fit inside your slots. I'm going to talk very slow. Only my red one does. I wonder if it's got a lot more pigment in and needs drying. So, there you go. Will that do for a Facebook Live? And they're nearly straight too, a bonus. Yay, Sue, you've cut straight. I know it's a miracle if I cut straight as well. Hi, Pauline. So now you've got those slots to add to your book, like so. I'm loving these books, but I've got to make a little diddy one. The little diddy one really floats my boat, because look at the size of it compared to that. Really floats my boat. But then I am a bit odd. I am a bit odd. Hi, Val. Try and give it a bit of a dry, Belinda, and blot it with some kitchen roll. Shared in many groups, even those who don't craft. Don't think... Oh, Mario, that's hilarious. Sharing in groups that they don't craft. We're all going to get banned. Right, so what I've done for my book, you can decorate straight onto here if you want. Is your hubby... I can't speak, Sarah. I can't speak. Is your hubby cooking your dinner again, Tracy? He is. He's cooking a casserole. You're cooking roast beef, Yorkshire pudding. Oh, Sarah, now I'm going to be starving. Cuckoo, Dominique. What size is the card for the slot? Well, all as I did was, I think mine was something like 2 inches here. So I just cut 1/4 inch off my pieces of card of whatever that measured. I just cut 1/4 inch off. And I've got these to slot in here. Do you know, and I'm loving these books. I love them. I just think they're ace. Whatever this measured when I'd folded it, I just cut 1/4 inch. I think mine were 2.5 inches by 4 inches. So I kept the 4 inches and just took 1/4 inch off the 2 inch slot. And it slots in beautifully. If you want it in the stitched side, you have to take a bit more off because the stitching takes a little bit off. So then you probably take 1/2 inch off. But now I've got 4 slots. No, 3 slots, you drip. 3 slots. So it works brilliantly. Oh, thank you for sharing. They'll be crafting soon if they didn't before. I love how we're sharing groups and they don't even do craft. My husband is making pork roast for our lunch. Oh no, Gayla. My mouth is watering. I've made small tags, Callie has. Callie's made small tags for her book. Yay, Callie, exactly. So what I've done for my book, some posh people in the group have made sleeves for theirs. They're really posh. What I'm doing with mine is I'm going to add a clip to mine like that. And I'm going to add paint to it and have a little dangle as well. That's what I'm going to do with mine. But what I've done with mine is I've cut 2 pieces of mount board, one for the front and one for the back, that I'm going to stick on mine like so that they open up and I've got mount board front and back in mine. That's what I'm going to do for mine. So I'm going to decorate my covers front and back. If you're not having mount board on yours, whatever I do on here, you do on here. I shared with several friends who now watch. Oh, thank you, Linda. Turn upside down for 4 slots. Yes. Well, I've still got 3 slots because I machine stitch mine. But anyway, it doesn't matter, whichever way up you want it. So I'm going to decorate my mount board that I've cut. That's posh, isn't it, Alex? I've got mount board covers. Some people have got sleeves for theirs. Very posh. Could post to someone with ideas of things to do while in lockdown or something to cheer up. Exactly, Linda. Love a dangle. We love a dangle, don't we? Of course we do. We love a dangle. I can't find the group. Let me just see if I put a link here. Let me see if it'll let me paste the group here. So I'm going to decorate my mount board. If you haven't got mount board, I shared with a non-crafting group too and was asked if I was okay. What is waffle, I asked. Listen to Tracy, she waffles for England. I must have understood. Are these not going in the book covers we got from you? No, Jane. The book covers from me are a different book in my group. That class is what we're doing in my group. This is just something I did extra. That's in my group. We'll be doing that next week. This is a different book we created. The books that I sent out is for a different one in my group. They'll all soon realise craft is the only thing that's going to keep them sane, and Tracy's so-called waffle. Yes, That's in April. Well, we're in April now. We've just started April, but that's next week. That's next week. No, Mimi, you've not missed much at all. So if you've created your book, if you haven't done any covers, you're decorating straight onto here. Yeah? You can use a cereal box, exactly. So I'm going to decorate these pieces of mount board now, and I've got no idea what I'm doing, but that doesn't matter. So what we're doing, I know I'm going to use paints, and I know I'm going to use my pen nibs. So I'm going to use this stamp set because I want to use the pen nibs and I want to use the mushrooms because I love these mushrooms as well. So I want to use both. So I'm going to use the pen nibs and the mushrooms, which is Nibs and Mushrooms 276. So I'm going to use paint, and I've chosen to use colours that coordinate with these. So I'm using my paints, Dina Wakley. I'm using turquoise and lime. You use whatever you want to use that you've got in your stash. No, you've not missed it, Anne. That's next week. Yes, you can use a cereal box. So no, that's next week. So I'm going to decorate this little book that we're doing now. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to add a bit of paint, and I'm going to use my fingers because that's what I want to do. And because I haven't done that yet. Just trying to give you something different. Just let me get a wipe. Just get a baby wipe. Just put that to one side. And I'm going to add my paints. I'm going to add a bit of the lime. And I always add a little bit of mount, not too much. So many lovely dies. We'll have to sweet talk the bank manager. I haven't seen my bank manager for ages. You're waiting for the paints to arrive, Debbie. Brilliant. If you haven't got paints, Debbie, use some inks. Or use any paints. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what we use. Who cares? As long as we're crafting together. Hi, Sandra. How are you? Hi, Sheila. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my finger. Also known as Karen Lottie. Is that what you are on Instagram? Because sometimes I don't recognise people on Instagram. It doesn't matter that you're late, Leslie. It doesn't matter at all. I can't recognise people from Instagram. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my paint to my mount board. Look at that lovely green colour. Abs would be chuffed to bits that I was using green. And now we're going to use a bit of the turquoise. And because I'm using my finger and because I'm using opaque paints, they blend beautifully. Because opaque paints don't generally make mud. So I'm quite lucky. I don't have to worry about making mud. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my Lots of Dots. I couldn't remember what it's called. I'm going to use my Lots of Dots stencil and I'm going to wipe away some of that paint like so. Turn my circles around and wipe some more. I'm bothy on Instagram. I bet that's why I don't know half of you. Because I just don't recognise your names on Instagram. You know it doesn't take much to confuse me. You do realise that, don't you? I mean, you know what I'm like. So there's my first layer. There's one piece. Let's do the other piece of mount board. So if you haven't got mount board covers, you decorate these. No, I go on people's blogs as Karen Lottie. Oh, I'll remember that. Mind you, not many people visit blogs now, do they? I have my blog as a diary, but not many people visit. I'm always grateful for a visit, but not many people visit now blogs. But I like blogs. So I'm now going to do the second one. Can you see the first one? I'm just applying the ink. No, this is paint, Tracy. Just applying the paint over my mount board, like so. Just applying the green. And you don't need much paint at all. It's hardly anything. Touch of the turquoise, like so. And as you can see, I'm adding the paint very randomly. You know, it doesn't matter how you add the paint. It's very random. And then I'm taking my, I keep wanting to say totally dottily, my Lots of Dots stencil, and then just wiping away that paint, like so. Enjoy it on Insta. And yeah, I can remember you, Anne. My blog name is Tracy Evans, -craftaddicts.blogspot. But I just love my blog. It's like a little diary. I keep it as a diary. I don't mind whether people visit or not. I keep it as a diary. I just love it. So I love doing this technique. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlay some of the circles so it gives me a bit of dimension. Oh yes, a bit of dimension on this one. So I've overlaid, so I wonder if this paint's still wet on this one so I can overlay, yes. And the paint still stays wet for a while so I can overlay some of the circles. Look at that. Let's wipe up some of that paint. I love blogs too as well, Galen. First time here. Hello, Anne. From Norway, welcome. So I'm just going to wipe that paint up. Just bear with me a second while we wipe that up. And then you've got a lovely piece of baby wipe that you could machine stitch little bits into your book. Let me get some kitchen roll. I have kitchen roll, folks. I have kitchen roll. I have luxuries. So I'm just going to dry this off now, like so. You see, I already feel better when I start crafting. It's just getting going, I think. But can you see where I've overlapped some of the circles? I quite like that. So I'm going to give this a dry. Somebody's, oh thanks Lynn, watching now. Hello Sue. Hi Lorraine. So I'm just going to give this a dry now. Like so. We need to dry this because, oh, it doesn't matter that you're late, Zoe. You haven't missed much at all. So I'm just giving this a dry because I'm not going to be able to stamp onto this because it's a sticky plastic layer. So we need to make sure this is dry. I've got no choice but to use my heat tool. If you were at home, you could be drinking your cup of tea. What paper do you use? Annette? This is actually mount board because we're creating a book. Because we created a book at the beginning of the video. At the beginning of the video. Hi Gail, thank you for my wipes, Gail. Bless you. Thank you. Oh, and thank you very much, Gail. I was so chuffed yesterday. I was on a high yesterday. It was lovely. I've got so many dried baby wipes. So have I, Roz. I'm definitely going to make a book with them. My Instagram name is Baroque. Yes, let's share our Instagram names and then we can all follow each other. That's a good idea. So we created this book, you see, at the beginning of the video. And my mount board covers are going on like this on my book. Like so. Okay? So that's lovely and bright. So you know what I'm going to do now? I'm reaching down for some pencils, so just bear with me. Let me just find some pencils. Sorry. Let me just find some pencils. I wonder if I just bear with me a second. Where's my grey one? I think I'm going to use my grey one, or am I going to use my no? I'm going to use my blue one. What we all saying? Can you show us something using the baby wipes, please? Yeah, I mean, the thing what I do with the baby wipes is a bit difficult because what I tend to do with the baby wipes is, Callie, is I use them in the background. I tend to create my my lid won't come off my pencil sharpener now. Oh, wonderful. Bear with me a second. My pencil sharpener's decided it doesn't want to play. There we go. I tend to find that I add the baby wipes to my background. So I'm lucky because I've got a sewing machine that will take quite a lot of thickness. So I tend to let these dry and then I have a book cover and I machine... Hey up, Carolyn. Don't get rude. I machine stitch these in the background on my books. And they look beautiful. I might have to do a book and just... I'll have a think on that one. So what I'm going to do is look at that. That's not sharpened very well. So I'm just going to add a touch of shading. I don't want to go too much because this is mount board. And mount board is not going to blend that well. Because with it being mount board, it's not like watercolour card where it will blend out. But I'm still using my Inktense pencil just to add a bit of shading. Even though some of these circles won't be seen when I've finished. But what you need to do at home is add a touch of shading just to your circles, just a little touch, because it just makes it pop. And I'm not in a rush tonight. I'm not going to rush anything. If I've been on too long, we'll just have to finish it another day. But I don't want to rush the process because I don't want to produce a pile of poop. So we'll just make sure that we take it steady, especially for those of you that are joining along We don't want to rush that process. What we're saying, I stamp on my dry baby wipes as well to add work. Yes, you can stamp your background stamps on your baby wipe, especially when it's dry. But I'm definitely what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to machine stitch. When I've been doing these lives, I've thought of so many other things to do. The problem is, by the time I've done the lives and I've tidied up, I've run out of so much time. I need to do some magazine articles as well, but I just keep running out of time. Oh well. Who said they've got loads of time when we're in lockdown? I haven't got no time left at all. So let's see if these will blend a bit. What's this? Oh, get you, Tracy. You used the pencil sharpener like what you were told. I know, Jane. You see, I did as I was told. Was it Carolyn that said that? It was. What was it, Carolyn? See, I do listen. How to sharpen. I'm a good girl. I'm teacher's pet. That's me, teacher's pet. So just blend out this colour. Just a little bit. And you don't want to add that colour back in. So wipe off the excess. Because you're not adding colour back in. You're blending that colour on the circles out. So you know what I mean with these circles anyway. I'm just blending them out, what we're saying. So, yes, so just blend those circles out. Don't add the colour back in. Make sure you remove the colour from your water brush because you don't want to add the colour back in with your Inktense pencils. Just blend that out. I won't do every circle because that'll get really boring. We'll just do a few because you know what we're doing. So just blend those out. And the Inktense pencils work lovely. Just add a touch of shading just to give some depth. Time is going so quick crafting away. It vanishes. That's what worries me about the Facebook Lives. You've been on an hour and I've done nothing. That's what amazes me. Sometimes you achieve hardly anything. But then again, if I shut up waffling, we might achieve more. That'd probably be a good thing. So, did you remember that shading? It makes a difference, doesn't it, Kim? It sort of makes it pop. It really does make a difference. But if you're at home and you're doing your book, take a lot more time than I'm doing. Obviously, I'm bearing in mind that you're watching me. What's me? At the end, Louise, at the end, could you show how to fold the book again, please? Yes, of course I can, Louise. Just remind me a little bit towards the end because I waffle so much that I forget and I already need to remember to show Serena how to blend and now I need to remember to fold the book again. So that's no problem. Just remind me before I waffle and say goodbye. It doesn't matter, Liz. Have you treated myself to your floral stamps? Oh, thank you, Gail. And chicken wire stamp. Oh, thank you. Thanks ever so much, Gail. I really appreciate it. Did you remember to cut yourselves a circle out? So while I waffle, either draw around one of these, you know, something that's a circular shape, draw around this, or draw around one of your lids and cut a circle out while I do the next step. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stamp my nibs. And I want to have the nibs on both covers. You stamped onto tissue with paint, ended up, hang on. You stamped into tissue with paint, ended up firm. Think you did it on a Chandy. I did, Helen. I can do that on a Facebook Live as well. I love, you want to see that again, Helen? Right, hang on a minute. Let's make some notes. Here's me notes here. Here, look. Can you see there, Helen? I've put tissue and stencils. So I'll put tissue and stamps because I'm going to do it with both. So if there's anything you want to see, just let me know. Obviously, if I can do it, I don't know everything because there's some techniques I've got no clue of or I'm just useless. It doesn't matter that you're late, Tom. To be honest, Tom, if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably have dozed off on the sofa as well. What's that? Linda, new to all this and learning loads. Oh, you're very welcome, Linda. So I will put the tissue and the stamps, Helen. So if I put your name by it, Helen, at least then if I mention Helen, then people will realise that I'm not doing it for the sake of doing it. Helen Gardner. Okay, I'll definitely do that. I'll put that on my list and we'll definitely do that because it gives me something to remember to do. And if I do something that you request, even if it's just me and you, Helen, at least then I'm not boring people. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to decide what nibs I want on here. So I think I'm going to have the first 4. So I'm going to mask off my other nibs. It sounds a bit rude, that does, doesn't it, when it says I'm going to mask off my other nibs. Something about it that sounds rude. Just move me scissors out the way. Is that your favourite of my techniques, Ali? The tissue one? Yes, I love doing that. So I'm now going to ink these. Let's move this out of the way. So I've masked off those nibs and I'm just going to ink these nibs. Let me bring my bin a bit closer. I actually need something more than a bin. I make so much waste. Your live videos have been a real sanity save. Oh, thank you, Susan. Lungs have not been anywhere. Oh. Yeah, my dad suffers with his lungs. He's really struggling. What is a nib? Nibs. I'm using my nibs. Hang on, I can't even find me stamp. Nibs. It's probably because you thought I said nip. Nibs. I don't have much success with alcohol in water. What card do you use? I used watercolour card and I used 300 GSM smooth card from Pink Frog. So, yeah, I had quite a bit of success. Yeah, we did that with watercolour card and 300 GSM card and it worked really well. So I'm inking this stamp up, as you can see, but I'm only inking part of it up. And then I'm going to remove that low tack tape. Careful. Conversation always deteriorates. Me nibs. Exactly, me nibs. Me nibs. So I'm now going to stamp me nibs onto here because I want the nibs on here, like so. And I'm just going to allow that ink to sit because I need to allow it to sit because I'm using paint. I've used paint in the layers below and that paint won't be totally dry. Try again, Linda. Yes, I used watercolour card. What was that? I love the canvas with the tin and moon face you showed us last week. Curious on the background technique. That's on the, hang on, I'll show you in a second, Carmen. Let me just make sure that I'm not even concentrating now. I'm just listening to your messages. I'm not even concentrating. So let's hope we've got a, there we go. There's a good image. Let me get my list. So you see here, Carmen, it says tissue and stencils, Carmen. That's the tissues with stencil. So I'll be doing that as well. Forget those days of the week because that went to pot. That would be a whole different type of crafting. It would, Tracy. I am using my ants. Oh, yay! I love the ants, Sue. I like seeing that you're all using different things. It's fab. But look at those nibs. Oh, they look beautiful under that background. It looks sort of marbled in the background. The bibs are my favourite. The bibs, eh, Louise? So I called them nips. You're calling them bibs. Please, no paint on me nibs. Oh, God. Oh, dear me. I need to speak properly. I need to speak properly. So what I'm going to do is, and now, you see, it's getting the right... You see, I can't say it properly now because you're all starting me off. I now need the nibs at this end. Stop leading me astray. So the nibs at this end I need. Stop leading me astray. Looking forward to the one-day special and tangled rectangle arriving. Oh, thanks, Tom. Thanks for ordering. I really do appreciate it. And hopefully we can do lots of things with them as well. We can all inspire each other. Well, that's the plan anyway. So we've got those. So what I need is... Sorry, I have to think to myself because I want to know which ones... Do I want that? I don't want that one, do I? Sorry, I've got to talk to myself at the moment. That's it. I need it like so. I need to talk to myself. It goes in better if I talk to myself. Me nibs. We don't have to lead you. You get there on your own. Yes, but you help me to get there, Carolyn. You're bad influences, all of you are bad influences. You do, you encourage me. You encourage me. That's the problem. So what I've got now, oh, I can't pick this up. So I want What am I doing here? So like so. You see, I don't want to do that because it covers up all this blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the nib again, just so I've got a black and white one, and do it that way instead. I'm going to stamp the nib so I've got, oh, I can just cut it out of this. That's true. You see, this is what happens when you come in late and on a live video. Exactly, Angela. This is what happens when you come late. So now I'm going to cut this nib out. I didn't need to put it on the circle, but that doesn't matter. This is what happens when you go live and you change your mind. It's just what I do. I'm always changing my mind. So just cut this nib out because I want one in black and white. Like so. And I don't want a full one. So we want that. That's better. Much better. So you know what we need to do as well? We need to blot that image because obviously we've used that cut, I mean. So what did you learn from Tracy today? Something with nibs, and it took me ages to explain. Oh, I just love it. Nobody can explain my waffle. That's the problem. Nobody can explain. What we need now is we need a pop of colour. Where's that stencil gone? You see, stencils just vanish, I think. I think stencils disappear on purpose. What did I do with the stencil? Come on, stencil. I've got a desk that's not that big. Oh, there it is. It looks good so far. So what I think we need is, we need another pop of colour. A tiny touch of colour we need. We're at the comedy club. Oh dear. You're going to be in tears laughing reading all this back, Tracy. I know I keep missing comments. I could use a smaller circle, but I've decided I don't want to lose this Rizwana. Look. Can you see that it's like, it looks almost blended and sort of mottled. I quite like that. Found my box. I'm using the brush flower stamp. Oh, brilliant. Doesn't matter that you're late, Ginny. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a pop of red to mine just to break it up. So I'm going to see if I can get some of this detail. So I need my brayer, which is here on the floor from yesterday. So I'm going to add a pop of red to mine, like so. Just a tiny touch. So I'm using ruby paint. Not much. Not that there's much room to do anything. Found your box. Steady now. Oh dear. We can all pop pictures of our bigs, seeing I like you look at the people's box. Oh God's sake. The conversation is deteriorating. So now what I'm going to do, can you see I've added, where's my spritzer bottle? I've added a touch of red here to this stencil. And I'm going to add a touch of red to my cover because I just think it will just lift it a little bit, just to give it a tiny pop. So I'm just allowing that to sit. Can you see what I mean, Rizwan? It's got a lovely sort of mottled pattern underneath. My order from yesterday come from the amazing All in Crate. Less than 24 hours. Oh, that's brilliant, Kim. Absolutely brilliant. You see, there we go. Just dab that up so we haven't got too much moisture. That's all we need is a little touch of red. You don't need too much. So don't add too much red. Like so. I've got a wipe somewhere, but I can't. I'm just going to be chucking everything on the floor. By the time it gets to the end of the day, I won't find anything. Just wipe that up. Just a touch of that. Now put my nib on here, like so. That's it. I want my nib on there. Just another night. It's Tracy crazy time. Oh dear, Gail. As every day passes, I'm getting worse and worse, Gail. I can't even say nibs. I've got to say nibs properly now. Because I didn't say it properly. They'll be putting me in the adult channel. Never mind the comedy one. It'll be the adult channel soon. And I think I'm going to add this one in black and white as well. Because I just like this little bit here. This is what happens when you just go off the cuff. Sometimes ideas just come to you. Well, they do to me. That's what I find anyway. Just cut this out. And I just like the contrast of the black and white. I might add a little bit of shading with a pencil, but not much. Just a little bit, like so. Always still. I dried, well inked a lot and kept good pressure. Oh, you kept good pressure, did you, Belinda? So I'm going to add this up to there, like so. Yes, I'm liking that. I like the fact that I've got the pen nibs, so it's not the whole image, it's just part of the image. That's what I like. And I love that little pop of red. Let's just dab up that pop of red there. That's it. Just that little touch of red. And then what I think I'm going to do is get a pencil. What colour pencils have we got? I think I need my polychromos. Just bear with me a second, because there isn't a lime green in the Inktense. So I just want to add a little touch. Let me just see. Bear with me. Yes, we have. We've got a nice pencil here. Why does crafting you end up using everything? Painters Dean and Wakely. It's an all in create stencil called Lots of... I love how you all answer each other's questions while I concentrate and bring you some kind of design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a touch of shading to this pen nib. Just a little bit. You should wait until it dries. I haven't got that luxury. I've got you watching, so I haven't got the luxury of allowing that to dry. But just add a touch of shading. I'm using polychromos. Don't do as I'm doing, because obviously you're going to squidge the glue. But I haven't got time to let it dry. You would allow it to dry. Just add a touch of shading. And I'm using this lime pencil just to bring the lime from the background, just so that we look like we've thought about everything. What have we got? The comments flew past. I couldn't write it down quick enough. I opened to watch if they put you on the adult channel. They hadn't better put me on the adult channel, Rizwana. I'll definitely have to go in and change that. So just add this touch of green, and we will add a tiny touch of the blue as well. Just a tiny touch. You think it hardly seems worth it, but it is worth adding just a touch of shading, just to the pen nib. Obviously when you're at home you've got a lot more time. I haven't got that luxury on a live. I will hold this up so you can see it. I'm just holding the pen nib because obviously it's still not dry yet. And what you do with the, what's that? Sylvian. Oh, I wish I could speak French. I need abs, don't I? So I'm just adding a touch of shading, and what you need to do with the polychromos is you need to add layers of colour. Don't just add one layer of colour. It's with everything really. The more layers you add, the better it gets. It always does look better the more layers you add. And it's often a really good thing when you haven't got to wait for things dry. But can you see, adding the shading really makes it pop more. Hi Terry, how are you? You can't see it very well on the camera, but that's because if I wasn't on camera, I would continue doing this and adding the layers. I would go over about 6 or 7 times just to add that layer of lime, which I will do off camera. You don't need to see me adding layers because that'll bore you senseless. But I'm loving the little pop of red. So what we need to do now is add some text. So I'm going to use one of my Distress Oxide inks. What's the difference between polychromos and watercolour pencils? Polychromos are wax K. The watercolour pencils, which are Inktense, you obviously react them with water, and then the Inktense pencils are permanent when dry. The polychromos are wax based, and I blend them colour to colour. You can blend them with like solvents and zest it, or baby oil, but I don't blend them with any of them. I blend them pencil to pencil. So that's why I like using them. Lovely to hear from you, Terry. So yes, that's why I like using them. I like using them as well because you can keep going over and blending that wax so you can add the colours, and then I can add a touch of the blue, and you can actually blend them colour to colour, and they work beautifully. They work really well. Nice and soft as well, but not quite as soft as Prismacolors. Prismacolors are softer, but these are a little bit firmer. But I'm no expert in colouring. I just do what works for me. I'm not the expert. There are a lot more better colourists out there than me. It's just I do what works for me, but I love the polychromos because they're a bit firmer and the lead doesn't break easily, so that's what I like about them. But if you can see the blue here, if you add the touch of blue, it adds a touch more shading. I like to layer up the wax. So you layer up the wax and you keep doing it, and it blends more and more and more the more you do it. Obviously you couldn't do it on camera because you'd need a good 20 minutes for each image just to layer the colour. But it is worth it. In fact, I don't know whether I've got the cap. Let me see if I've got that up enough, just so you can see. The more you keep adding the colour, the better it gets. The more you keep adding that colour. So you need to spend a bit of time doing that. Obviously, you don't want to watch me doing that. It'll bore you senseless. So what I want to do now is I'm going to add my heartfelt stamp, which is this one. I love the sort of random text and the little hearts here. I know everybody's got a really good sense of humour tonight. I was trying to make face masks. Oh, that sounds good, Fiona. That sounds really good. So yes, so we will do a canvas soon. There just isn't enough hours in the day. I could do Facebook Lives as a full-time job and not do anything else. I could just do this and not do anything else. So what I'm going to do is add a bit of stamping to the background because I just want to add a touch more interest to the background. Let me hold this up again so you can see that it's worth adding that little touch of background. Background stamping. And this is just our cover. What, the pen nibs? You can get it from the stockists. The stockists have got it, Lynn. I didn't realise the Chandra had sold out of this one. Would you watch full time, Gina? Oh, you wouldn't. So what I'm going to do now is add some splatters of white and then do the back cover before I go back to it. I'm going to add some splatters of white and then we go back and add a little sentiment. And this will be our cover nearly. So just add, let's cover our ink pad up so we don't add the splatters. The splatters will just lift it a bit. So we're now going to go onto our back. So this time I'm going to use, remind me that I'm just chucking the stamps on the floor because I'll ask you in half an hour where the stamps are. You do realise that, don't you? Because we'll be using these stamps quite a bit for continuity. I'm just chucking everything on the floor. It's all going on the floor, so I won't find it later. You do realise that. So this time we're going to use the mushrooms. Everything on the floor. What are we saying? Do you like? Oh, thanks, Terry. It looks quite nice, doesn't it? Especially if we put a little bit of a sentiment on. We haven't finished yet. But I'm not in a rush. We don't want to rush everything all the time. So I now want to add some mushrooms. So we're going this way. So I'm going to add these mushrooms here. I bought the Speedball Bray you suggested on the other video and I love it. Oh, brilliant, Linda. I'm so pleased you're loving it because I wouldn't want to recommend something that I genuinely don't believe in. I am sitting not on my back. Not on my back. Hi, Karen. So I'm just going to ink this up. Just so that we've got the mushrooms this time. Because I love these little mushroom stamps. I think they're lovely. But then again, I wouldn't I? You know, let's get it real. I would like them since I designed them and drew them. So I would like them. So I'm just removing a little bit of ink from away from the area I don't want. I'm just removing some of that ink. Sorry if I'm taking it off camera. I get so carried away. Looks not nice. It looks beautiful. Oh, bless you, Terry. So we're now going to add this. Let's just move these out the way and stamp. I have inked that properly, haven't I? Oh well, it doesn't matter if I haven't. We're just going to add this here. And all as this is our front and back cover. You said we need to go into our backs now. Oh, of course, Ruth, sorry. Onto your back cover. Keep up, Tracy, keep up. I did tell you it was a bit slow, Ruth. Oh, thank you, Laura. So we're just again, even though I dried that card, maybe she's eating them, the magic mushrooms. What pen did I use on the splatters? I used a Posca paint pen. Posca paint pen. And this is the medium nib. The medium nib. So I'm just allowing that ink to sit. Again, I'm not in a rush. I just allow it to sit and just look at them. Just love them. Absolutely love them. I'm just getting a piece of paper just to blot. Need to catch up from the beginning again. Oh, it doesn't matter, Angie. You've not missed that much. This is all we've done so far, Angie. That's how quick I work. Not. Posca. Yeah, I usually use a Posca pen. You're right, sorry. So I'm now just going to blot that. Like so. Just to take, because as you can see, quite a bit of ink is removed. And now I want to do is bring one of these mushrooms in black and white like I've done on the other. So bring in my scrap card. Fiona, I lead such a sad life, honestly. I don't get out much. I know none of us get out much at the moment, but I don't get out much. It's sad, really. So I'm now going to stamp these mushrooms again on white card and then decide which ones I want to use. Like so. And then we will, once I've done the card that I promised I was going to do the other day, we will do a mixed media canvas. I think we'll do that next. Have you been singing? Do you know, I haven't sang anything, Angie. With polychromos and prismas, you need to build the layers lightly and keep building through the colours you're using. Exactly, Carolyn. You have to build the colour. You can't rush building the colour. If you rush it, you just won't get the result. There's no point. But then I'm a great believer in that for anything, really. Don't rush anything. If you're in a rush, then you're not enjoying crafting anyway, so what's the point? I don't think you need to be in a rush with any of it. So just blot that. You see, and what Carolyn's saying is here, I've only added 2 layers of the colour on this pen nib, and I would still go in and keep blending. I use circular motions when I'm doing it this way. I flick when I'm doing it with my flower. But with this one, I can use circular motions. And it's light layers. It's not pressing too hard. And the more layers you add to that, the deeper and richer it becomes. You're going to make me cut out. I am going to make you cut out, Jane. You've got to do a bit of cutting out. It does you good. It's therapeutic. So I think I'm going to have this mushroom here. This little mushroom here. We've got to cut out now and then, Jane. I don't think I've got dies or any. I haven't got any dies because mine are easy to cut out. Well, maybe apart from the little mushrooms. But there you go. It keeps us out of mischief. It gives us something to do. Cutting out. So we've got these little mushrooms here. Going to cut these out. Just takes a little bit of patience, that's all. What are we saying? No! That's the bit I enjoy the most. I like cutting out as well, Anne. I have to agree with you, Anne. I love my cutting out. I totally agree with you. I think cutting out is so therapeutic. It's just lovely. And then I nearly went quiet then because I was going to concentrate on my cutting out. There we go. Like so. So they go in there. That's perfect. I'm loving this little contrast of black and white. Scissors is a real personal thing for me, Val. I like using these little Pergamano scissors because they've got a curvature on them. But my friend Anne doesn't like using little scissors. She likes using these big scissors by Tim Holtz. She likes cutting out with them, Anne does, whereas I like cutting out with the small ones. If you press too hard, it becomes slick, exactly, and you can't get any more colour. Exactly, Carolyn, thank you. You don't get any more colour if you keep layering it and it gets too waxy. That's when you're getting too impatient and you're adding too many layers too quickly. Don't be too impatient with your colouring. But sometimes light layers even work. You don't have to blend it within an inch of its life all the time. You can just add a touch of shading. So now we're going to add these little, I love these little mushrooms. Just love them. Look at that. I just love that pop of black and white. Now if any of you need to disappear, don't worry about disappearing, because I'm not going to rush this process. I might not get it all finished tonight, but that doesn't matter. We can carry on with it tomorrow. But we will get it finished together. I just need my glue to stick down. Of course, this little bit of mushroom here hasn't got any glue on. Well, isn't that typical? Let me just add a bit of glue there. Bear with me a second. I've got to get in close and personal to my artwork. Just bear with me. I need to get close and personal without sticking my head in the camera. What are we saying? Love the details from the little cards. I love them. But I like taking my time and adding the little details. That's what I like doing the most. I like adding the little details. It's what floats my boat. Now, while that's drying, we're going to add a touch of red here, just so it matches the front cover. Let's get rid of that glue. We can't have any glue showing, because that will irritate me. Let's remove, that's it. What are we saying? Quick, everyone, run away. No, 6 feet. Can I ask, is your floral stamp with the chicken wire? The floral stamp with the chicken wire? You don't mean this, which floral stamp? Can I ask, which is your floral stamp with the chicken wire? Oh, with the chicken wire. Let me just think now. Oh dear, it's terrible when you can't remember your own stamps. Chicken wire, chicken wire. I can't even reach it at the moment. What I'll do is, Pauline, I'll get my stamps out after the live and look for it, and then I can add a picture. Which is your floral stamp with the chicken wire? I can't remember what it's called. No problem, Maureen. See you soon. New stamps with the giveaway. I'll be here all night deciding. So I'm now going to add a touch of the red, just so it matches here. So even doing the front covers, how long have we taken just doing the front covers? That's taken an hour just doing the front covers. How is that possible? I've lost my brain now. How is it possible to do an hour just doing the front covers? Well, we'll do the front covers on one page and then carry on tomorrow. Just add a touch of red, like so, to the front cover. 1 spritz of water. I don't want to add too much. Just reach for my kitchen roll. I just don't know where the time goes. It's just ridiculous. And just add that touch of red here. Has Abs just come back on? Taking time on details is the best. It is, isn't it, Anne? I like doing that. I'm glad I give you some ideas, Chantel. Thank you. So I'm just allowing that. That's all I want. I might add a little bit down here. Let me just see if I can add a little bit down here. That's perfect. I don't need any more. I'll bring those in while I'm cleaning up, just so that you can see them and move this out the way. Because I've got so little space left now, I'm working in a tiny amount of space. Are you all okay for a bit? Time-wise, you're all okay? I think the boss is here. Keep it clean. Oh, I didn't notice the boss was here. I didn't keep up with messages. So as you can see, we've got nice touches of red there. That red just makes it pop. And then what you'll do when you're at home, those that are doing the homework, if you're misgluing a bit, add a smear onto a piece of paper. Yes, and you can slide it underneath. Yes. Good tip, Karen. There's another good tip from Karen. Are your fingers itching to craft, Anne? Oh, brilliant. So I'm just going to add a touch of this green here. Obviously, we can do that later because this is still too wet to add that touching. But you need to add a touch of shading here. and we need to add a touch of stamping to this background because we want the front and back covers to go with each other. We want them to work together. That's all we need. That's perfect. Let me hold those up for you. This is what we've got. So, oh, we haven't got the splatters, have we? Let's add the splatters. Like so. Can you see that? I have all night. Hubby's busy in the garden. Wow. He's busy in the garden now. So those are our front covers, but they need a little sentiment or a touch of black. So I'm going to add a touch of this tape. We'll be making our own tape in it, but you can add a touch of black using anything. I'm going to add a touch of black with this, just to give it a touch more interest, because I can. Scissors. So let's add a little touch of black. So a little touch of this, a touch of that, one on each. So just find a little touch of black if you want. I never rush anything. I just take my time. I don't like rushing the process. So we can come back tomorrow and do more as well, but we will do another page with another stamp. So just add that there. I'm sorry if I'm leaning my head in camera. I don't mean to lean it in the camera. I'm just getting all engrossed with my artwork. And then this one. I love it for backgrounds. I adore it for backgrounds. It's one of my favourite stamps at the moment. And this one on the opposite side to the red. Like so. There we go. Like so. And then what I think I'll do is, I'll just get, bear with me a second, I'm just reaching for my Distress Oxide Black. Distress Oxide Black, and I'm going to just go around the edges with a touch of black. Nothing too overpowering, just going around the edges with a touch of black. Don't overdo it. Just a touch, so don't overdo your black, just so it draws the eye into the artwork. And just remember, we're just enjoying the process here. We're not rushing everything. Facebook Lives don't have to be about rush. I know sometimes some people say some Facebook Lives can be too long. Well, what I do then is if they're a bit longer, I go back out and come back in another time when I've got more time. Where is the tape from? This is the Tim Holtz tape. It's in his new release, the one that's just come out. So a lot of the stockists have got that in. So I'm just, it's a bit like, oh, what's it called again? I've forgotten the name of it. The Dymo machines, that's it. It's just like that, but with typewriter. Oh, thank you, Ruth. Ruth's just said the same. So I got my Dymo tape from Country View. So just put that back up. And can you see that touch of black? I am loving them. Look how, I think they look lovely. Dymo, exactly. I think they look lovely. You see, what'll happen is, I can't stick the covers on yet, so the cover will go on there like that. I love that. And I'm going to add a little sentiment as well. We're going to finish them covers, because what I've got here is is there anything on this stamp set? You see, on this stamp set, because I'm going to use this on the inside of the book. On the inside of the book, I'm going to use the pencils, but I'm going to use this text because it's got illustrate your life, art, sketch, doodle, draw, which seems absolutely perfect to me. So I'm going to do art on one, I think. And art on one and sketch on the other. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take this stamp set out. So which is this one? This is Numbered Pencils 165. Oh, I've got stamps everywhere. All we've done is two. Can you believe all we've done is two covers? Number. I do apologise, Karen. Karen keeps me on my toes, you know, Karen does. Number 165, hash 165 pencils. Thank you, Karen, for keeping me on my toes. She keeps me behaved. So let's just add this. This is just going everywhere. I'm just chucking it all on the floor. But you know, since I've come live and I've done this, my mood's lifted. My mood's lifted. So I'm going to add this. Let me show you these. We'll stamp these pencils inside our book. But let's just stamp this text. I need some scrap card. Scrap card. We'll stamp it. Will it all fit on there? Most of it will fit on there. Let's stamp the whole design. Let's get a longer piece of card. Do you know, I'm just chucking everything down. Let's get a longer piece of card so you can see it. There we go. So I'm just going to ink this up and then you can see it all. Because you can't see it because it's well loved, this one is. This one, I created the pen nibs to go with the pencil stamp because I thought they'd work beautifully together. So I'm going to use this with it. This is another one I was proud of. But then, you know, I am a bit sad. Oh, let me move these covers out the way because they're now getting in the way and I haven't got the biggest desk on the planet. What are we saying? What number is the little heart stamp, please? I will get that for you. Let me just place that down. The little heart stamp is 304 and it's called Heartfelt 304 and the stockists have got that. 304. I'll leave that there for a bit. Oh, I'm glad I cheer you up, Roz. Give a big hug to your little fur baby. What is the nibs? What number is the nibs and mushrooms? Nibs and mushrooms is 276. I'm sure I know that one off by heart. Hang on a minute. I'm chucking everything on the floor. The nibs, I'm sure it's 276. Where's the nibs one? Come on, Tracy. Where's it gone? You see, this is why you shouldn't chuck everything on the floor. There we go. So that's 276, the nibs and mushrooms, and the heartfelt is 304. Oh, I'm glad I left you. You all make me feel better as well. I'm using your mini sewing machine. Yay, Rizwana, fantastic. That is brilliant. I love it that I've got people joining in. How fantastic is that? That everybody is joining in. I just think that's fantastic. And look at that for an image. What do you think? Don't you think that's lovely? I love that. Love, love, love that. So we'll blot that. Like so. He's lying on your lap. Oh, bless him. Looks like 15% discount and a few stamps on sale. Very quick delivery. Thanks, Kim. So I've just... And if you want to join in any of the challenges in my group, I've got a group. I don't think it'll let me paste anymore. No, it won't. Sorry, it won't let me paste the group anymore. So I'm just going to blot that like so. I just love that stamp. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to use these sentiments on the front cover of these like so. This is why I like mixing and matching the stamps. When I design the stamps, I design them so they'll work together. Because I don't see the point if they're not going to work. Sorry, I'm cutting and bringing it towards me. I do apologise. But I don't think there's any point in creating stamps if you can't use lots of bits from different ones. From Dublin, no group. You guys are my group. Oh, Christine. I've got a group, Christine, on Facebook. And we do challenges and everything. But I can't add the link because when I copied and pasted it, it was over 20 minutes ago. And now it's forgotten that. It's lost its memory. So bring these in. And let's... You see, you lose everything on this desk. I've just cut some cut and dry foam. Can I find it? Can I, Eck? So what Tracy does is she cuts another piece of cut and dry foam and ends up with 300 pieces everywhere. Oh, you're there. Sorry, Christine. Oh, ignore me. So we'll just add... Let me just straighten that up a bit. Oh! That's it. So I'm just going to add a touch of blue to my sentiments, like so. What are we all saying? Oh, thank you, Mimi. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to add these, and I'm going to add art there. And then I'm going to add, see, that's a nice sentiment for inside the book. Illustrate your life. I think that's nice. Let me just cut this now. Just cut, and then you've got all those pencils as well. I like the equations as well. Where has the time gone? Can you believe it? We've hardly done anything. I thought we'd get a lot more done than this. We'll do one more, a bit of a page inside, and then we'll come back tomorrow. Is that all right with you? We come back tomorrow at the same time, and then we can have a rest and everybody can catch up, and then we can do the inside of the book. I have no idea where the time's gone. So I'm going to add that there. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Like so. Can you still see those on camera? Let me move them up. Who's back? The live just cut me off. Oh, it cut you off. A brand tiny sewing machine. I haven't got a tiny sewing machine. Mine's quite a big one. But I love it. But really, if you're just sewing into card, you don't need one like I've got. You just need a little one. That's all you need. You just need a little one. And then we'll just stamp these pencils inside, just so we can have a look at what we're doing. Let that just dry a bit, because we'll add a touch of shading around the sentiments. So there's our covers. So you need to colour these as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our book in. So they'll go nicely on the cover. That looks lovely. I really like that. Especially with the shading from the pencils. I'll spend a bit more time doing that. Promise to be on time tomorrow. Oh, Angie, it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. I just feel like I'm taking ages, taking all your time up. So what we'll do is we'll add, I wonder if I can stamp onto that. Let's see. Well, if it doesn't stamp, it doesn't stamp. I'll just have to add them afterwards. Let me just, yeah, it should do. Well, we won't know until we test it, will we? I think I want it on this inside. So you have to bear with me because I'm thinking as we're doing, if that makes sense. So I'm now going to ink up the pencils. So I need to make sure the rest of the stamp is clean. Let me just give it a little bit of a wipe. Just so that we just get the stencils, the pencils, not the stencils, the pencils. This baby wipe is disgusting. What are we saying? Oh, thank you, Shelley. Have them £50 a while ago. What was that? The little sewing machines. You might change your mind, Sue, and have the back on the front. I do that as well, Sue. Depending which one I like the most, I have the back on the front. I do exactly the same. So you're no different to me. No different at all. Just let me blot some of this ink. Because what I want to do is I want to add some of these pencils here, like so. So let me go up. Let me make sure I only go up to here. So I'm just masking off my pencils, just so I only go up to a certain... Let's move those covers out the way. They're getting in the way now. Let me just press that down. Press that down. You see, I'm so pernickety. I don't like to see any glue showing. So just put those up there. And I'm now going to ink these pencils up. I've only just got a picture. I've been giddy all day. Aww. Yeah, I now have the nibs and mushrooms. Have you just had it delivered, Sue? You feel inspired? Oh, you're all so good to me. You do make me day. You're so kind. So I'm just going to ink these pencils up like so. Like that. Remove this. Sometimes I've made a mistake and left that on. And that's been a disaster. So I'm now turning my book. I'm sorry, I've just got to lean in a little bit. Just so that I can stamp the pencils. Let's... like so. So you can't see at the moment because the book's turning over. So just bear with me a minute. Small sewing machine on Amazon, $24.99. Hey, Mimi, you're a top shopper, you are. You're a top shopper. Mimi's already found a sewing machine on Amazon for $24.99. Wow. How good are you, Mimi? It is Mimi, isn't it? I'm saying that right, aren't I? I'm just allowing this, as you can see, to sit a bit longer because it's just a slightly bumpy surface. So I'm just allowing it to sit a little bit longer on there, like so. There we go. Let me show you this now. So this is going to be our cover like this, okay? So that'll be our cover. And then when we turn over, we've got this. So what we need to do now is go back to our pencils and let's add some of the pencils. So if you do it like that, so we want the first 2 pencils. So we're just going to cut out, you see, I like on this pencils one, this is what I like. You see these figures here where it says figure 805. I'm going to cut one of them out as well. This is why stamps inspire me so much. They have 2 or 3. What about Michael's? Oh, was somebody from the US asking? You see, I need to pay attention, but I'm trying to inspire you at the same time. So let's just cut these out. This is why I love little details on stamps, because they're so important, little details are. I won't keep you much longer. Pink frog in the UK, somebody's mentioning card, yes. Pink frog. I love how you're all answering each other, you're brilliant. So is this my first one or my second one? That is my second one. So that's going to go there, like so. What are we all saying? Oops meant pig. Could you tell me what day you made the book, please? I'm going to show you how to make the book anyway, because somebody asked me earlier to do it at the end of the video. So I'll show you how to make the book we've made today, because that only takes 5 seconds. Some of you are going to be hearing my voice in your sleep. It's going to be driving you mad. So just going to, like that. So now we're going to adhere these pencils where I've put them. What are we saying? We'll check out Pink Frog. Yes, I would love to join in making the cards whilst you're doing a tutorial. Oh, you can do that anytime, Isabel. Anytime. I've picked up the wrong glue because I'm not concentrating. I'm too busy looking at your messages. Pick up the glue that works, Tracy. There we go. So I'm just going to add this to here. Like so. We'll just finish this page and then we'll come back tomorrow, because we've got lots to do to our book. So I'll show you how to create the book, because then if you want to catch up for tomorrow, you can catch up then, can't you? Hi Tracy Evans, sorry I'm late. Being hectic at work, we'll have to catch up. Oh, I hope work was okay, Anne. I hope work wasn't too bad. Just add this. I'll show you the covers. Just add this. And what we'll do is we'll let that dry a little bit. Let me just turn this to the side, just so I can get rid of any of that glue. Sorry, I'm a bit pernickety. I don't like glue showing. We'll trim that in a second. So we've got these covers. Has it really taken me that long to do the covers? That is ridiculous. We've got to add colour to these, don't forget. Did you? Yeah, I did put the videos all on YouTube, even the ones I couldn't do yesterday. Little details in your accent, in my voice, in my head. Oh, Christine, you poor thing. Yes, I'll show you how I did the book. I can show you that in a second. Just let me trim these. So we're going to trim our little pencils like so. So there's our pencils, and just wipe away that glue. That's better. And in your homework, make sure you colour your pencils. You need to colour your pencils. And what we're going to do then, so this is what we've got so far. Let's get rid of these gluey things. Let's just clean up a little bit, because it's a tip. So what we've got now is we've got the 2 covers, like so, and we've half started a page. I've watched them many times. Oh, Belinda, thank you. I made 2 books for homework ready for tonight. Oh, Sue, you're good, you are. Some people made covers for theirs as well. Made covers for them. So we've got to add shading to these and a bit of colour to these as well. So let's make So we're going back to the colours. I've got no... I'm going to have to tidy up a bit before tomorrow because this is ridiculous. Go back to these colours and let's bring our stencil in again, because we want the covers to blend nicely with the inside. So let's add a little bit of colour to the inside of our book. We'll just do this. When Leonie was doing your stamps and I changed, she kept saying, our Tracy. I am your Tracy. Don't trip it. I am going to trip, Anne. It's a disgrace. I've got pencils, pens, brayers all over the floor. So we'll just add a little bit more colour to this page, and then we'll leave it at that, and I'll show you how to do the book. And I need to show Serena how to do blending just before we finish the video. So let's add a bit of colour to this, and then we'll leave it at that and carry on tomorrow. I'll just show you how to create the book, just in case you missed it. I'm sorry to those if I'm repeating. So what I'm going to do... Eek, no pencils, got to order some. Oh no, Mario. So may leave the page and do it when I get them. You're very welcome, Mario. So we're going to add a bit of this colour to the page here. And what you're going to find, which is a nice touch, a lovely touch for me, is that you can see the alcohol ink background underneath. It works fabulously. I'll lift it up so you can see it. Rub the stencil like we did before. I will lift it up for you. You can still see the alcohol ink background underneath. So it's a lovely touch. The alcohol ink background is still visible underneath. So add a little bit of colour here. It's just so that it all blends in with our covers. We can't have it not working. It's got to work together. It's got to look like a cohesive design. So then take your stencil again, like so, and rub over. Can you see that we're now bringing the covers into the pages? Does that make sense? Nearly stuck my nib to the toadstool. Callie, that is so funny. So just a bit more colour, just on this top corner here, and go over your nib. No, them are not the nibs, them are pencils. Go over your pencils a little bit with a touch of the colour, like so. Just a little bit. We want to keep some of that page visible. I'll lift it all up so you can see in just a second. We won't hide it all. Now let me show you. So this is what we've got, and this is where we're going to stop, because we'll do some more tomorrow. And even if we have to go into 3 days, we'll go into 3 days. So what you've got, so your homework for tonight is to get it to this stage. You've got your covers, okay? You've got your covers. You need to colour those mushrooms with your pencils. You need to colour those. You need to colour your pencils as well, and add some colour to these pencils to match the colour here. So you need to colour your pencils with your pencil crayons. And you need to add some shading to your circles. And I will do that off camera as well, just so that we keep up. And just so I don't waste this paint, I'll just add it to another page. I don't want to waste that paint. You know me, I can't waste the paint. So I'm just going to add that to another page, this bit of paint. And then just go over the stencil, just so that I don't waste that paint. There we go. So you need to get to that stage in your homework, ready for tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll go live again. You crafted along a bit and then got behind. Well, the good thing is, Belinda, we'll stop now. I'll show everybody how to make the book again, just for those that didn't see it. And then at least, Belinda, you can catch up. Because what you need to do is add the shading here, colour your pencils and colour your mushrooms, ready for tomorrow. And then tomorrow we're going to add shading and we're going to decorate these other pages tomorrow. So that'll be the Facebook Live tomorrow. And we'll use all these sentiments as well from the pencil set. If you've got any questions, don't forget to ask me. I'm just going to make the book and do some blending. So for those that want to see how to make the book, you stay here. And for Serena, if you still want to see the blending, I'll do that afterwards. So there's what we've created so far. So that's your homework. That's what you need to catch up on. For those of you that need to see how to make the book, right, here goes. Let me just put the thingies. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me. Stitching done and dinner is ready. Wow, that's brilliant, Rizwana. So for those that didn't see how to make the book, this is how you do it. Any size card, any size paper. To create it, you fold the book, you fold the paper in half lengthways. Are you still working, Joanna? Oh, bless. So fold the book in half lengthways. Turn it over and fold the book the other way in half, like so. You're very welcome. Yes, and I need to mention the giveaway, don't I? So then you've got two halves, like so. Fold it back on itself, like so. Turn it over and fold that back on itself, like so. Okay? See you tomorrow, Gayla. And then open it up and cut the score line up to where it meets the first score line, like so. Open it out, like so, like a frog mouth, and that creates your book. Okay? So there's your book for those that didn't see it. Bye, Belinda. See you tomorrow at 6. And for Serena, I need to do some blending for Serena. Thanks, I'll get my daughter-in-law onto it. Oh, thanks, Helen. Serena, blending. I'll show you how I blend. I'll just use the blue and the green, if that's okay. And let me get some fresh cut and dry foam. I don't know whether Serena's still here, but I'll do it anyway in case she watches on catch up. This is how I blend Serena. Serena's having problem with blending. So I'm just going to do this blending on a small piece of card. This is for Serena Glover, just so that you know. When you're blending inks, what you need to do is make sure that you prime your tools or your cut and dry foam. Make sure that I'll just blend one colour. Make sure that you add lots of ink to your blending tool, Serena. You're very welcome. Thank you, everybody. So you just make sure that you add lots of ink to your tool. And when you blend, you add a circular motion. Now, if you've added enough ink, it will blend beautifully. If you haven't added enough ink, you won't get that blend. Can you please give me the number of the pencil stamp? Of course I can, Sue. The pencil stamp is stamp 165, hash 165, numbered pencils. Numbered pencils, that one's called, 165. So when you're blending, make sure that you've got loads and loads of ink. You're very welcome, Helen. Thanks for joining me. And all you do then is blend, Serena, like so, in a circular motion. And because I've still got loads of ink, I can go back to the blue and blend over. And then what you can do is spritz it with water and you've got a beautiful blend. If I haven't answered enough questions, more often than not, when you haven't got a beautiful blend, it's because you haven't got enough ink on your blending tool and you might not have a good quality card. Hope that helps, Serena. Thank you, everybody, for joining me, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 6. Thanks a lot. Lots of love. Bye. Bye.